Well, thank you for joining us. This webinar is going to be on the ITS platform and our ability to upload NDT and destructive testing certifications and affidavits and visual acuity forms in the enhanced series. This presentation will be put on by myself. I'm a account manager here at ITS, and I also have with me Shanna Gibson. She's our content development manager. So after today's presentation, you will identify the new upload tasks in Enhanced OQ. This was turned on this week. You can manually upload credentials to these tasks, view credentials using ITS apps like Verify, recognize the ability to fully document the program with a custom series. So if you don't have Enhanced, you can add this to your custom series as well. So NDT and destructive testing documentation. So a little background on myself. I came from the non-destructive testing world. I was a third-party inspector, worked in that space for about 15 years. And we have our own certifications, whether that be a radiography, a mag particle, or a private certification like a CWI or NACE. Those documents are important for us to prove our training and competency. That does not necessarily equal the same competency of taking an OQ task in those specific things. So they do stand alone apart from each other, but they're both required to be documented. And now with what we have here in Enhanced, you can add those certifications, whether it be your radiography or your NACE or your CWI, into the task that you're performing for that role. So if your role is radiography, you can have a task where you upload that certification. And one of the reasons I think this is important, in my experience, I ran a branch of a non-destructive testing company where we had 140 inspectors in the field. And we were working across several different states. And we would get calls 2 or 3 times a week about projects we worked on months ago, sometimes even a year ago, that were now being audited. And they didn't have our certifications in their system. They couldn't find the paperwork, or vice versa. They had the certifications, they couldn't find the OQs. It seemed like there was a problem with documenting both these required documentations, qualifications, and certifications in the same location. And we feel that if they're in the same location, it provides quite a few benefits. One, you're tracking by a project, and that individual's documentation is all associated with that particular project. Another advantage as well is when you're using ITS's QR code in the field and you're scanning their QR code for their OQs, it also will pull up that they are compliant and they've uploaded a certification in there as well. So you know before the job started that the person has the certification required, it's in your system, and they have the correct OQs. This fully complies you with what the requirements are. In addition to that as well, if you're calling NDT contractor before they send that crew out, you know which individuals at that particular company have their certifications, their visual acuity, and their OQ status in compliance. So you can say, I want Preston sent to this job because he has all the requirements. So this helps you ensure that everyone doing the work is properly certified and qualified.
So as of the end of day on Monday, we now have these tasks in the Enhanced OQ series for tracking NDT certifications and destructive tests. You can see here there's about 10 tasks. We've got one for visual acuity and then one for each type of NDT. And then additionally, there is a destructive test task for each type of fusion. These tasks are upload only, so there is no content associated with the tasks, and you would not be able to use Connect, for example, to create a record. In most cases, an NDT certification is going to come from a third party, and destructive testing can be handled in different ways. So we feel having upload only records is the best way for the task to be useful for everyone. Only an admin with upload only permissions at an operator company can upload these records, but a contractor can send their documentation to the operator for upload. Now, there is an option of a custom series if a contractor wishes to upload their own records, but for the enhanced OQ series, it must be the operator. You're already storing your OQ records in the ITS platform, so it makes sense to store the documentation there too. It's easy to upload records to the platform, and I will walk you through that process in a moment. Records for NDT certifications and destructive tests will be visible when an eWallet card is scanned or when using ITS Go. In addition to the record itself being there, a PDF of the uploaded documentation will be accessible as well. These records will also be visible on the user's transcript and other reports and can be seen in Verify as well. The tasks can also be added to roles and included on profiles so that they are required for a user to show complete. We've had several requests over the years to have a place to store destructive testing results, and this is a solution for that. These are not part of the qualification itself, but a separate task altogether. So now we're going to walk through uploading a record for either NDT certifications or destructive testing. So to upload a record, you're first going to go to the Manage page and click on Records. Then you will select Create Knowledge Records. So then you'll be taken to this screen where you can select the Enhanced OQ series and search for the tasks you want to upload documentation for. You can type in certification and that will pull up the NDT tasks. Or you can search for upload and that will actually pull up all of these tasks since they are upload only tasks. So once you select a task, it will populate at the bottom in yellow. And then you can select the user or users for whom you are uploading records. Once you see that user listed under the task below, you can set the date taken and you'll want to set the status to pass. Then you'll select paper under the media type. And then finally, you will use the attach button to add a PDF copy of the documentation for this record. Once that is attached, you click the I affirm box at the bottom and click Save. And then you'll receive a message that the record was created successfully. So then if you go to the user's transcript, you can see the record you just created listed there. And you can also see the record on other reports, such as the skill evaluation report, where you can click on the PDF icon and view the documentation itself. And here's an example of what you might see when you open the PDF. In addition to reports in the platform, the records will be visible on a user's eWallet card and in ITS Go. You will have the ability there as well to open the PDF and view the documentation as you see here. And now I'm going to give it back to Preston to talk a little bit about Verify.
I wanted to highlight Verify working in conjunction with this upload. I think it works very well together. When I referenced, I would get calls about projects later down the road looking for certifications that weren't collected at the time of doing the inspection or the work. What was happening is these individuals were calling me were getting audited by a project or going to audit a specific project. What Verify does is Verify is a mobile application that we have that scans QR codes of it populates an individual project that was built with the right roles, with the right tasks, and it will automatically put those people in the right roles and confirm or verify that those people have the right OQ status And all that documentation is ran into a report by the project. And that's where you could have the entire paper package with the certifications and the OQ status of these non-destructive testing individuals and these direct testing individuals, or destructive testing individuals. Um, Verify also has some benefits of uh, tracking span of control and critical tasks, and the ability to sign off on uh, whoever completed those critical tasks. But we think it works very hand in hand with Verify. We have other webinars on Verify to look at as well. So we did touch on the fact that it is enhanced, but it can be put into a custom series. We can set up to match your equipment and your procedures, set up annual uploads and to document the evidence of training in the ITS platform. And ITS apps like Verify can display this evidence and have record of it. Any questions?
If you have questions, you can put those in the chat.
Does not look like we have any questions.
All right.
Well, thank you. Thank you to everybody who attended. I hope this is helpful. If you need to contact us, my email is pcanada@itstraining.com, and Shanna's is sgibson@itstraining.com. Thank you for attending. Have a great day.
Thank you all.